Gordon Brown's announcement that he is now sufficiently plugged into public opinion to realise that people are worried about immigration, frankly, is just far too late. It's shutting the stable door after the horse has bolted, when it's all the more difficult to make a good liberal case for a migration policy because the government has been so incompetent in mismanaging our immigration policy over the last 12 years. For example, they didn't do anything to reverse the Tories' crazy policy of getting rid of exit checks, which means we issue 2 million visas a year to students and others who can come in and study or work for a short period of time, but because we don't have exit checks, we don't know whether they've left again. And most illegal immigrants are in fact here overstaying on legal short-term visas, as far as we can tell. So we need to improve our border controls if we're going to re-establish the public consensus behind proper migration, which has benefited this country for so long. And Gordon Brown's deathbed conversion is yet another sign of a government on the run in the run-up to the election. The government's line on the DNA database is completely indefensible still. The old line that it was going to keep anybody who came into contact with the police or the criminal justice system on the database forever was chucked out by the European Court of Human Rights, and quite rightly. But frankly, keeping innocent people's DNA for 6 years is no more proportionate a response to the problems of keeping innocent people on the database. You are innocent until you're proven guilty in this country, and we should remember that. And if, for example, you're a householder who has been burgled and your DNA is taken because it needs to be used to clear up the crime, to find out whose DNA has been left at the scene of the crime, who wasn't meant to be there, why should your DNA be kept on this database? This is a highly sensitive, personal piece of information, and it should be removed. In fact, the government is getting all the wrong people on this database. We've got nearly 1 million people now who are completely innocent, who have their DNA stored on the database, yet there are more than 2 million people who were convicted of crimes before the database started, who are not on the database. So for heaven's sake, if we're going to use this database properly, at least make sure we've got people who are convicts on the database and remove the innocent from the database. And of course go on using DNA whenever there's a crime scene in order to investigate matters. But we don't need an intrusive database in order to use DNA to clear up crime.